the EFF is actually a good pressure valve.
Sure.
To ease this anger out of society, but give it direction to the ballot box, to the ballot paper, to vote, to be within the constitutional frameworks of change. Yes, of course, they try and stretch the envelope, try make the constitution elastic and so on, disrupt parliament, but they were operating within the rules. And this is why when people were busy saying that the EFF is a prototype fascist movement, I completely disagreed with all of them.
Yeah.
Still do today, because the EFF actually gave us a pressure valve that was operating within the constitutional prisms. At a time, our society, if you remember very well, there was a point in time where a Max Dupreez and a Mweletsi Mbeki would have predicted our own Arab Spring and even given it timelines. I think one said 2018 and another said 2021. And we've avoided both these years, respectively. But in the weak absence of a political party that has the kind of pressure to direct this anger through constitutional means, and with the public having switched off so much from politics and politicians, I'm telling you, the perfect storm is
habari ma Africa. Mimi ni King, nina furaha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutazama King Teso. Thank you once again for tuning in on an award-winning podcast in the Northern Cape, King Teso. Ladies and gentlemen, Lukhona Mnguni is 100% correct. But he was just supposed to remove that word EFF and replace it with politics. He said that the EFF is a good pressure valve. It's not the EFF, it's politics. Thank you so much. Again, I did say thank you for coming in. There was a time when I was sharing the notion. I have a friend who can articulate his views very well. And then this friend of mine does not vote. He has never voted. He's 45 years old this year. He never voted. And he reasoned, his reasoning for that was that politics does not solve anything. He did not as much as view it as a pressure valve, but he viewed it as fun. I vote, nothing happens, because people were losing hope as to fighting the ANC, saying fighting the ANC does not help because there's so many people that are voting the ANC and the ANC remain in power. He did not foresee what was going to happen in terms of Jacob Zuma and the MK political party coming in. And that friend of mine did not even vote in the 2024 national elections. But my view was that the way I view it, as I was looking at Africa as a whole, and I was like, there is really no country in Africa where the president took to power via a ballot paper and changed the economical situation of that country. Luckily, right now, we can make references to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and we can say, look at that. Burkina Faso has got a president who is not a conventional, politician. I mean, he's a sergeant from the army, a captain from the army, a general from the army who took over that country, and crazy things are happening right now. So he did not follow the normal route of democracy and elections to get that country correct. So I was like, in Africa, there isn't a country where a president took over and that president changed that country so much within 5 years, because everything is possible within 5 years. And that the lives of the people in that country is better. Every president, almost every who has been elected has failed to change the lives of the African people. So I was looking at it in that way to say, I don't think that this political system is a system given to us by, our colonizers so that we can decolonize ourselves. I don't think they would give us a system that can assist us as African people. That is where I was playing it from. I was like, something else must happen. That's why we celebrated so much when Mali took over their country, when the general took over Ote, what is his name, there in Mali. We were so happy because we knew that when the people are happy about the coup, the people in the ground are excited about the coup, we know there's something wrong with the political system in that country. So I agree with you, Lukhona Mnguni. Our angers have been redirected into the ballot box so that we can think, oh my God, if I can just vote ANC, if I can just vote EFF, if I can just vote Umkhonto, if I can just vote whatever political party, then our lives will get better. So you can't tell me when you look at the EFF that 90% of the country does not want to change the economical situation of our country. If you look at it in the context of how many people voted for the EFF. So you can't tell me the rest of the people, because you say the EFF is a pressure valve for South Africans who have got anger. So you can't tell me only 10% has got anger, 9% has got anger. That is not a correct notion. You understand? So that is why I say he must remove the word EFF and place the word political, elections, the artificial democracy, that system, all in all together of politics and political parties, politicians, parliament, and all of the whole system as a whole is there to subdue our anger into the direction of a ballot box. I strongly agree with him, because you look at all the parties, we can get how angry we want, but we must our anger in pushing the envelope or stretching the envelope, like Lukhona is saying, it must be confined within the constitution of the country. You can't go out and do what Ibrahim did, because you will be strongly condemned, especially in South Africa. And the situation in South Africa is not the same as when it was, Mohamed Bazoum there in Niger, how that president and his family were running that country. If you look at South African situation and what was happening in Niger, you can't compare. You can't say South Africa needs a military coup. But one thing for sure, if you want economical freedom, if you want, you want your minerals back, you want your land back and everything, it is not possible to get those things in the confinement of today's constitution as South Africa, or through the ballot paper, or through the political system. That's what I believe. So for me, it's like he says, if we come together and stand as a society, that is the only time we're gonna solve problems. I've been saying that every time here. You guys have been hearing us talk about the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. We took some time to register an NGO. We took some time to make sure that we get all the things in order. Our books are being busy being audited right now. Everything to say we want to build the school. We took some time and went to go look for the land. We took some time. Why? Because we want to operate within the confines of the law of our country. We took some time. We made an unveiling of the Pan-African School. We had a gala dinner where we invited many people. People came from the Northwest, Northern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal was here, Eastern Cape was here, and Free State was here. Every province was represented in that gala dinner, where people drove from all corners of South Africa. We had Namibia here, with Lesotho here. We had people coming here and say they want to contribute in building a school for African children. You guys have heard me talk many times about that. Let me just take this moment also to ask for your donation, because we said we as a society, we have to stand together and do something, because these politicians are not going to do anything. But remember, we are still operating within this confinement of the constitution. That is the issue that hits me at night. I'm like, man. We are fighting. The political parties are fighting. But are we really going to see economical freedom in our lifetime? Is it something that is really going to happen this year, next year, 10 years from now, with all of this coalition government and direction that our political environment is going towards? Are we really going to see a South Africa where we can say, wow, a black child is now in a good education system? A black child now can also stand a chance to change their economical situation. Are we not going to get tired of hearing, oh, you are the first graduate in your family, you are the first one to buy a nice car in your family, you are the first one? Small things that should not be a big achievement are celebrated like crazy here. Have you seen how we celebrate just a metric ball? as African people. I never got it. I never understood this thing of why is it that we are celebrating the matric ball like this? Why? What is it that we are celebrating actually? You find parents coughing out 10,000 rand. A poor family going out and buying a suit of 3,000 rand, 4,000 rand. A poor family in a shack. I know because I drive these children to their matric balls. I get shocked. And if you haven't been to the Northern Cape, you haven't been to a proper matric ball. I'm from Mpumalanga. I graduated in Gauteng, in Brongerspruit, Cultural High School. I remember very well my matric ball. Obviously, it was before 2010. It was a long time ago. But it was a decent school, a semi-private, semi-government school that I graduated in. But let me tell you something. When I came to the Northern Cape, I was shocked. I was shocked at how the people here celebrate the matric ball. The whole family goes out. It is an event. It is a... Oh, I'm like, yo. Okay, but anyway, before I lose my course, we're trying to do that at Baseta, build schools that have got, Africanized curriculums, meaning we want to teach economics, we want to teach technology, we want to teach agriculture, we want to teach science, and most importantly, we want to teach African history so that our children can know, so that they can understand when they study history. So no, but this thing of ballot paper and all of those things is introduced to us by the master. The master told us we must elect each other, introduced the political system to us, and then formulated the rules on how to operate within the political system. That's when you find now the masters can now fund this political party, fund King Seso political party, fund Kagiso political party, and makes us all fight so that we can all fight for the crumbs that are falling off the table. Only to later realize that many African countries must consult somebody. African country presidents must consult other rich people before making major decisions. They can make small decisions in a municipal level, who to employ, who not to employ, and all of that. But when to make big decisions, what we call in South Africa state capture, they have to consult other people to say, we want to do this economically. Do you think we must work with these people? And those people can make decisions on behalf of us, and those people probably don't even bother with going to the ballot paper. That is what Lukhona is saying here. So for me, I wish he could have just removed the word EFF, because it's not EFF, it's every political party. We voted for the ANC in the hopes that they can make us happy, because we've been angry for many years. Other people woke up and said, but the ANC is not coming with a solution. Voted, EFF, voted COPE, voted the Patriotic Alliance, voted all the other political parties. Others ran from DA to other political parties. But we are just looking for people who can understand our anger. And I'm telling you, community activism is the only way that I see forward. When the community comes together, I see problems being solved. Case in point, in Kimberley North, where my mother stays, there's a street. It's a very short street. Let me count how many houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses in one line, 6 houses in this line. So these are the houses are facing each other. 6. It's a very short street in Kimberley North, just next to the train station. There's a white family that owned 5 houses. Did you hear me? So there's 12 houses. There's a white family that owned 5 houses in that street. We bought one of the houses from them, but they are left with 3. And those 3 houses. One day I should take a video and show you guys this crazy. I'm gonna take a video. I'm gonna see my mother today, so I'm gonna take a video. There. So in that street, there's 3 houses that are not occupied. They packed up and went to Australia, New Zealand or Australia, one of the two, and left. The grandmother left. She was the one who was left. She's the one that told me that the house that you stay in was my father's house. Actually, my father used to own the whole street, but now we are left with 3. She left all of those 3 houses. They've been vandalized. I'm not going to another story to make a point. Now, those 3 houses are being vandalized slowly but surely. So there will be street kids coming in, people coming in, breaking, stealing cupboards, stealing anything that you think you can steal. They steal. They get in on the roof. They steal everything. We reported this to the securities, police, and whatever. Nothing came. Nothing changed. Okay. So the community, obviously, every community has got a WhatsApp group, and then we gathered each other as a community, the gentlemen of the group, and we said, no, we see someone we don't know in the street at night, we deal with that person. So we will hear they're pushing trolleys. You see these ShopRite trolleys, they will be pushing that trolley because they steal things and put them in the trolley. We'll hear a trolley and whatever. Others have got cameras and will get out. Hey, Muna, what are you doing here if you're not answering? Others will find them in the house, sort them out and whatever. I'm telling you, the crime in that street where people were getting their house and cars getting broken into each and every week. When I say each and every week, I mean each and every week. That short street in Kimberley North. It is now normal. Like, we can go a month without hearing anything because the community stood up and did something. It's the same thing as the way the taxi situation has got the country on its balls. They do as they please. You see the people of Soweto standing up in Deep Blue and saying, listen, enough is enough. You guys are not going to operate like this. You're not going to tell us where to climb and who not to climb in whose car not to and whenever. So that's the only time I see things get solved in South Africa, when the community take things in their hands. The problem is that the community can also operate outside the laws. That's why you see the issue of the clinic, the health sector and whatever. And then the law that we are trying to solve a problem in our community. Then the law can then arrest us and we can sleep in prison trying to solve our community problems because we are operating outside the laws. So what I'm trying to say is that the political system is a system made to subdue, just to keep us, listen, just relax. Your anger can be directed into the ballot paper, and one day you can get, economical freedom, and that is not going to happen. You guys tell me what you think about what Lukhona Mnguni said about this whole situation of the EFF being a pressure valve. My goodness, to ease the anger of South Africans, giving them direction to the ballot paper. Thank you so much, guys. Have a blessed Sunday. Let's talk again later. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.